we'll deal with the data as it comes in. Yesterday there was some promising numbers. The promising number is actually around how many people are getting tested. Yesterday, in excess of 38,000 people, which is a record throughout the whole COVID pandemic, have come forward to get tested. The more people are getting tested, the more confident we are in the data, and that'll inform us in making decisions about what Christmas looks like. But it's still very early. As the Premier said yesterday, it's touch and go. Yesterday, good sign, big decline in numbers. Let's have a look at the numbers that'll come out later this morning and see if there's a trend. If there is a trend, then there's a possibility and opportunity to look at what we can do with restrictions. But right now, we can't. We've got to do what we're doing, and that is actually stay focused on the pandemic, controlling these transmissions. And right now, for Northern Beaches, it's still a tough period. But tomorrow, we'll come together as the leadership team of the government, along with the Premier, and decide what it looks like for Christmas.
There's concern that people aren't checking into venues properly or using fake names to sign in. Why isn't the state-regulated Service New South Wales platform being made mandatory?
Yeah, look, we know that a lot of businesses have been using, third-party applications when it comes to the QR codes, and that's fine. I mean, the data is correct, and in most cases, but what you can't do is when there's human intervention, is where it fails. Now, the Service New South Wales QR code, I don't understand why some businesses just don't apply and use that. It is actually world-class, and it guarantees the data is correct. At this stage, we don't want to mandate anything. We want to work with industry and businesses. We want to lead and partner. We know it's tough for them, but what we need is actually patrons to take responsibility. Now, that's not in big numbers, so I don't want to make out that this morning that the numbers are huge in relation to incorrect data. But for those idiots that decide to put down Donald Duck and a fake number, what you are doing is jeopardising the reality, and that is when we do have to trace that the data is insufficient, and therefore it could mean decisions that this government makes in restrictions that impacts on everybody. So I just a call out to the public: do the right thing, comply, put the right detail. Honestly, we'll probably never ever get to see your details and your data, and that's the truth. It's only when there's cases like we're seeing on the Northern Beaches.
How are regional businesses coping? A number of tourism operators are reporting high cancellation rates. How big of a hit is this to the regional economy?
Look, it is a big hit. Off the back of drought, over the last few years, then bushfires last year, we lost our summer and we lost our Christmas trade. Then the COVID pandemic this year. This is a Christmas we need in the bush, and even though we've got record numbers of bookings for the regions, right now those that are in the Northern Beaches have to cancel. They are not allowed to travel at this stage. And for the greater outer metro Sydney area, we're asking everyone to be cautious. So there are cancellations. It's not panic stations yet for the bush and the regions. The other side is there is a little bit of anxiety in regional rural New South Wales. So they are actually asking people to reconsider their holidays at this time. It's a long summer. You may not have to make it this week or next week. Let's have a look in January, and you may want to rebook. But we're not too panicked at the moment. Safety of our communities, our health systems in the bush are more fragile than probably here in Sydney, and we have enough people visiting the regions at this stage.
What do you say to other premiers in other states that have criticised the approach that is being taken by New South Wales in tackling the virus?
Well, I mean, everyone keeps talking about New South Wales as the gold standard, and Brad Hazzard coined a term yesterday, the diamond standard. And, everything that we've done well. And we've learned along the way. There's no rule book or playbook. So we've learned a lot during this period. And being the number one state and the primary state of this nation, we've kept the economy going stronger than any other state, which meant the Australian economy did not hit the recession levels that could have been more like depression levels. And when you think about 100,000 inbound international passengers are coming into Sydney Airport, and 45% of them are for other states. New South Wales is like the dry cleaner or the car wash. We clean them up and we send them out clean, but all the risk is with us. So when premiers from other states then criticise us, and yesterday there was some weird and wonderful comments by Premier McGowan out of Western Australia talking about, we've got some wacky approach by we whack here and whack there. I mean, I didn't understand that. I did make some comments on Sky overnight. Maybe he's on the wacky tobacco more than anyone. But the truth is this, Premier Andrews, for instance, we didn't lock down the border of Victoria until there was 140 to 180 cases a day. Here we have a knee-jerk reaction again on 15. And then, of course, Queensland closing its border with 15 cases yesterday to all of New South Wales. The impact that has on those northern New South Wales communities is significant, especially here at Christmas and where people are trying to get together. So, again, knee-jerk reactions from premiers, that lots of running commentary, but I'll tell you what, I back in our premier, Dr. Kerry Chant, our health system, because it is the gold standard.